Greetings, everyone. This is I'm Right.
I'm Right.
And I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova.
What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up?
I don't know. It's a beautiful day and I love it. It makes me wonder, I used to take my bike and ride to Kennesaw Mountain.
Yes.
And when I got there, I would read. I would bring a book with me. So, Jill.
Ooh, reading.
Yeah. Have you read any good books lately?
Yes. I read a book by the Dalai Lama. I read a book called The Downstairs Girl.
Oh.
And I've started a book about tapping.
Excuse me?
Not tap dancing, tapping. Like tapping. Like
tapping?
You tap parts of your body.
Tap.
Like acupuncture points.
Okay.
And it calms you and it helps you stay focused on whatever your goal is.
That's cool. Great.
How about you? Have you read lately?
I'm not reading anything currently. That's because I'm writing a book.
So am I.
Mine's almost finished.
I bet mine gets published first. Want to take a bet? Want to bet on that? Friendly wager.
No.
The problem with us betting on things is neither of us ever remembers what the
bet was.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a problem.
Yeah. Okay. But maybe we should start this episode, Jill.
Well, you're talking about books actually somewhat relates a little bit, if it's kind of a stretch, to this week's topic, which is when your stories differ.
Your stories differ.
Yes. It's part of a segment that we call Stand by Your Stance. Tony, there's a story that you like to tell about something that happened to me that could have been traumatic to me because of the way you tell the story.
Well,
each time you tell the story, it's different.
I tell it the way it really happened.
No, none of the stories you tell.
I tell it the way it really happened, the way it really happened.
No, none of it is true. The way you tell the story.
Listeners, I'm going to tell my story, my version of the story first, because it's the accurate one. Okay. But Jill and I were on vacation in Kissimmee. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Long time ago. And we were playing tennis. And I was really beating Jill bad.
You were not winning.
I was beating her so bad. You
weren't winning.
If I was winning,
No,
I was wearing you out.
No, you weren't.
I was wearing you out.
See, listeners, he's already not telling the story correctly.
No, you don't have the story right. So anyway, I was wearing her out and she tried to return one of my serves and she was not successful. So the ball just kind of rolled off her racket and the ball just, was rolling on the ground and she took 2 steps to pick up the ball and then and she's on the ground, you're like rolling around in pain.
I was in pain.
I'm like, Jill, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I was chasing the ball and I twisted my ankle. You weren't chasing the ball. You were walking to pick it up.
No, I wasn't walking.
No, you were walking.
I was going toward the ball that was rolling and my ankle, I don't know what you call this. It flipped.
Twisted.
It twisted. It would not a twist. It just went a direction it's not supposed to go.
Yeah. So once I realized you really were hurt, because
I really was.
Seemed
I couldn't
like
walk.
You were faking
and
just so you wouldn't have to.
The swelling started instantly.
Yes.
I really couldn't put pressure on that foot, so I couldn't walk.
Being the good husband I am, I scooped Jill up in my strong arms and picked her up and carried her off the tennis court. And then our room was 5 miles away.
Oh
so
my gosh.
I had to go through the swamps. So I carried her through the swamps and sweat is beating down off my head and Jill's head is leaning back. Oh, my hero. And So
See, people now people know you're not
so
telling
then
the truth because I
so
don't,
we finally get back
don't
to
say
our
words
room.
like
We
that.
finally get back to our room, and I carry her up the steps, everything, and get her all situated. And she looks up at me and she says, "My hero, you're my hero. You saved my life." And I said, "Of course, all in a day's work. You know, this is what I do. This is who I am." You see?
Shall I tell my version?
Sure, you go ahead.
So
Sure.
the parts that he got right were, yes, we were on vacation. We were in Kissimmee, but we were at a resort, and the tennis court was on the property of the resort.
It's a big property. The property was like 5 miles long.
We were the
I
court
forgot to tell
was
about
next to the building that we were in.
I forgot to tell the
This is my
listeners
version.
about the alligators that
This
that
is
I fought off.
Oh my! While you were carrying me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yes.
All right. So my version is that the building we were staying in was right next to where the tennis court was. So you did not go miles at all, not a single mile, not even a half a mile. You did have to go up some.
You were unconscious.
I was not
You
unconscious.
You didn't know. You were delirious.
I did not hit my head.
You were delirious.
I did go after the ball, and my ankle went in a direction it wasn't supposed to go. It instantly started swelling. I could not put pressure on it, so I could not walk. And I did keep saying, "Ow, ow, ow." So you did pick me up and carry me.
Yeah.
Complaining the entire way.
It's hard carrying.
And I was small back then.
It's hard carrying a person through the jungle of
there
Florida
was no
and
jungle
through the
at
swamps
all. The property
and
was
fighting off gators and snakes all at the same time.
Yeah,
while I'm holding you in my. By that time, it was one arm. I'm just holding you with one arm, and I'm fighting off gators and snakes with my other arm.
Now, anybody who knows me knows that if I saw a snake, I would be able to not only walk, but run. So you wouldn't have had to carry me at all if I had seen a snake.
You were unconscious.
I was not unconscious.
Yes,
I did not hit my head.
I did. You passed
out. The property was very well. I did not pass out. The property was
very. You don't remember that you passed out.
I remember this very well.
No, you don't remember it very well because you passed out.
Let me finish telling my version. I did not pass out. I did not faint. None of those things happened. The property was very well maintained. So the yard or the grass was short. There were no gators. There were no swamps. So you just had to carry me from the court to the building, which was,
and up the stairs.
So you did go upstairs. Yes, you did do that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, complaining, grunting the whole way. One would have thought that I probably weighed more than you the way you were carrying on about carrying me. So, but I was at my one of my smallest weights then, so I didn't know what you were upset about, and I was upset with you because you were acting like I was this weighed a ton, So we get into the room, and I ended up having when we did return back to Georgia, we didn't leave right away, but I had to get crutches. Remember?
Yes.
And so I go back to work. And I have my crutches, and I remember my boss at the time, she came in and she looked at the crutches. She looked at me and she goes, "Weren't you just on vacation?" It's like, "Yes, I was." And she says, "Why do you have crutches?" And I said, "Oh, I had this mistake, this injury on a tennis court." And she couldn't stop laughing. And she had me to tell my other boss. So I still don't know what the joke was there, but no jungles, no gators, no snakes, no mileage. That is the truth.
That's your version of
that is the truth. No, that is reality.
I'm willing to take a polygraph on this one.
So now you know how to
I'm willing to take a polygraph.
So now you know how to get by with polygraphs? You know how to fake a polygraph test?
I'm a completely honest person.
Well,
I don't have to fake a polygraph.
You would on this.
No.
You would. You absolutely would.
No way.
Unless you can convince it to think that that's what you really believe. But just before we started this episode and chose this topic, you said you had walked 20 miles. So tell the story again. Let's see what you say this time.
It was probably 30 miles. And I'm beginning to remember.
The resort was not that big.
I'm beginning to remember that it was 2 alligators.
See how the story keeps changing, listeners?
And
when
3
your
snakes.
Stories differ. One rooted in reality, the other not.
At one moment, I had to put you down for a moment, not because
put
you were
me
heavy.
down.
Yes, I had to not shoot you.
Maybe so. Like euthanize
I had to
me.
lay you on the ground because
no, you didn't.
I did have to because a boa constrictor dropped from a tree and was around my neck, and I had to fight that thing off me before I could pick you up again.
So how do you explain us returning to this resort like a year or two later? Because you know you would if
it took that long to get back to the room.
No, it did not. It did
not. We were in the jungle for a year.
We were. I returned to work when I was supposed to.
Oh boy.
And if all of that had taken place that you're describing, there's no way in the world you could have gotten me to return there. None. Zero. Zilch. Nada.
At the time you had amnesia.
I did not have amnesia.
At the
I've
time.
never had amnesia.
Amnesia. Yeah, you don't know you had amnesia because you can't remember you had amnesia.
I do remember. You're the one that can't remember.
You cannot remember. Well, anyway, let's drop that story. Let's talk about it.
Because I'm right.
Let's talk about another thing that our stories differ on.
Okay.
Now, several of you that know Jill will know that she complains when she's at a running event or, walking event. Actually, you walk most of the time,
I complain?
Yes, you complain because I get swag.
Yes, you do.
And you keep telling people that I love swag, that I'll do anything for swag, but that's not true.
Well, the last time I said that I was joking. But, it was a sarcastic remark. I was being sarcastic.
Yeah, but
he didn't know that.
Yeah, I really don't care about swag either way. But I think that's why it bothers you that I get free swag when I didn't participate. And you
it does bother me.
I don't know why it should.
If you enter a race and you pay a registration fee and the registration fee covers the swag that they give you.
Yeah.
But in order to get it, you have to do the race, right?
Apparently not.
Because you're there as a supportive husband, which I do appreciate. I do appreciate that.
Right.
But by the time I've crossed the finish line, you've made all these new friends, these new acquaintances, and they're like, "Here, have this." And I'm looking at what they give you, and I'm like, "Wait, I had to do how many miles to get it and pay for it?"
But here's
you just didn't. What you did was just talk to them.
But see, Jill, you think that I set out. You always tell the story like I set out to get this swag, this free swag, but
no,
I don't.
I know that's not you don't intend to do that.
No, I don't.
So why don't you say, "Oh, no, thank you"? Why don't you ever turn it down?
Well, actually, there's another time when we were dating. I really do tell people that, "Oh no, that's okay." And they insist. Well, we were dating at the time.
Are you talking about the spelling bee?
No, we can get that. We can get to that later. But we were dating, and the High Museum has jazzy Fridays during the summer months, right?
Right.
So we were going to
Which we
meet
should
up.
go next time they open it up.
Yeah. I think they're beginning to open that up again. Actually, I think
Okay.
I've
We'll
got
have
an
to look into that.
email, but I knew I wouldn't be. I knew we wouldn't make the first one, so I didn't worry about it. But anyway, so we had agreed that we would meet there and go in together,
Yes.
because you were part of the media. It was
At the time, yes.
At the time, so
Yes.
you could
And
get in.
and my company was sponsoring
was
the event.
sponsoring, yeah. So you,
but we still had to put our names on the media.
yes.
The media had to put their names on it.
Yes,
to get in.
That is correct. So I get to the High, probably, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 minutes before you get there. And so, well, I don't have anything else to do. Let me walk up to the desk, where they're selling tickets and stuff. And because I didn't know whether you were there or not yet.
Okay. Because we didn't have to buy a ticket.
Right. Yeah, you're on the list.
And I wasn't supposed to have to buy a ticket.
So I say to the nice young lady, I say, "Excuse me, do you have a Jill Cox on the list with CNN?" She said, CNN, media. Are you the media? I said, "No, ma'am. No, I am not. I'm just a boyfriend of someone that works in the media. Her name is Jill Cox. Is her name on the list? Media? You're in the media? Come straight in, sir." So when you got there, Jill, and I
was with another journalist,
and I was,
so the two of us,
and I was already inside, and I said, "Jill, what took you so long?"
We couldn't get in. I'm like, I don't understand. We're part of the company that's sponsoring this. They told us to put our names. Just look for our names. Well, someone already came in from CNN. Like, but there's more than one of us. And what does that have to do with us? So we finally got in. Like, it had to go to like 2 or 3 people before they finally let us in and realized we weren't just trying to get in, that we really were who we said we were.
So our stories don't really differ that much on
Not
that
on that one.
No,
I don't blame you for that one. You were just asking if I was there.
Yeah, so that's what.
But all she heard was media.
Yeah. So what am I?
Until we got there. So no, our stories don't differ on that one. That is the truth. That is what happened.
Yeah. So Jill, but it bothers me that you get upset when I get in places for free. When I
didn't get upset. I got upset that we had a hard time getting in. That's what I got upset about.
No, but when you over the years, if we talk about these different times where I got in free or I got free stuff, you're kind of perturbed about it. That you're always getting this free stuff when I'm the one working for it.
That does bother me. Yes. You were correct. It started with the spelling bee. I probably wouldn't have had as much. No, I would. No, I would be upset about the races too, because that's real effort. But it started with that spelling bee.
What? What's wrong with the spelling bee?
I had the place I was working at the time registered me in this corporate spelling bee. So I was representing my company.
And you are
I love spelling bees. I love spelling bees. I used to win spelling bees all the time. So I love them. But this one was not set up like a regular spelling bee. They would, if they realized that you couldn't spell what I would call simple words, and they made your words even simpler.
Yeah, they were giving people words like cat
and duh, whereas I would get like dog. Cacophony, So clearly they were getting the best spellers were getting eliminated and the worst spellers were staying.
Yes.
And so I'm not enjoying myself because I realize this isn't a real spelling bee. Like, play like it's supposed to be played. Like, shine attention on those who spell well. Because that's what a spelling bee is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But as I'm on stage, because there was
you
a stage.
were on stage. You look good on stage, Jill.
Thank
I
you.
was in your corner. I was supporting you. I was cheering for you.
You were also laughing and talking to the people who were sitting with you, and they were serving you free French fries, which is my favorite food, which I later found out you got for free. So you all were drinking.
That's not all.
You were drinking and you were eating for free. I'm up there. I'm hungry. No one's giving me anything. Yeah. I got nothing but a T-shirt. So I thought, oh, well, at least they gave me a T-shirt until we got in the car. And I'm like, where did the second shirt come from? They're like, oh, they gave it to me. Like, what? So I saw what a wonderful time you were having. And so I purposely misspelled words so that I could get eliminated.
Yeah, but you were like one of the finalists. So once you did that, you ruined my good time. Because the spelling bee was over. But I was having a great time. The spelling bee was not over.
There were still people.
I had new friends that would buy me drinks and food.
But when I got eliminated,
give me T-shirts.
When I got eliminated and I came over to where you were, the wonderful thing would have been is if you were just on stage, you did really well. Those from them, I wasn't expecting anything, and they gave me free drinks and food. But that's not what happened. That is not what happened. They gave me nothing but a T-shirt that all participants got.
But the event was over.
The event was not over. There were two spellers left.
Oh well. The good time for me was over.
I did not enjoy that event at all. And to watch from the stage what a good time you were having, I'm like, I didn't even want to be in the spelling bee. My company made me be in it. I did not enjoy that.
Well, you see.
And every time I look at that T-shirt now, I still have the T-shirt. Every time I look at it, it just irks me all over again.
Okay. Well, again, our stories don't differ much on that one either.
So you admit that they were giving you free stuff and you did nothing to deserve it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I did do something.
You entertained them?
Yeah, people like to talk to me. That's what I do. People like to talk to me.
They do.
So I talk.
They do.
I talk.
Yeah. You do. You definitely do.
Okay. All right.
Our stories don't differ. We agree on what happened.
We agree on that one. So far, we disagree on me carrying you through the jungle.
Because there was no jungle.
There was a swamp.
There was no swamp. No animals. Florida, nothing.
Alligators and snakes, boa constrictors and everything.
Nope.
That did not happen. The second one we agreed on, and third one we agreed on. So
yes.
Here's one we may not agree on. A few years back, this will be quick.
Okay.
A few years back, we entered a walk run, a 5K. Oh, you have the T-shirt on right now. The Digital Dash. That's the one we did with
yes.
Yeah, because my daughter, your stepdaughter Erica was a part of one of the sponsors.
Right.
And we ran that, and I hadn't. I don't run, and at the time I didn't walk either. But we entered these things, right?
And you just had to beat me. You just had to cross the finish line first.
And Jill and I were walking together. We were walking together, and we was just nice and leisurely. And then I decided
it wasn't leisurely.
Well, a good pace.
It was a good pace.
Walk pace. But then being the man I am,
you just had to, you could not come in after me.
I had to turn the speed on. I was like Flash. It was like wings on my feet. And I just took off. Pew, pew, passing people left and right, left and right, left and right. Pew. It's like, what was that? What was that? Pew. I hadn't run in like 20 years. Okay. And there I come in. People are cheering for me and everything. I wasn't first. But I was one of the leaders. Yeah, that's it. I was one of the leaders.
Well, the real story, the truth of that story is that you did decide you were going to beat me, so you passed me, maybe one other person, and finished and crossed the finish line just before me. That's what happened. Let's get to
I waited for you for 20 minutes
No,
at
you
the
didn't.
finish. Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
I had time to get something to drink, to eat
Let's
a
get to
hamburger
our
and
second-
a hot dog.
Oh my gosh.
And everything just waiting for you.
That is not what happened.
Sun
Let's get
was
to
setting.
our second segment that we call
Give it a rest and a resolution.
Is your conclusion that you should just exaggerate the truth?
The conclusion is, if I say it, believe it. That's the conclusion. If I say it, believe it, because it happened. It happened.
My conclusion is that sometimes your spouse just, that's when you know they're creative because they just make up stories. You know, that's my conclusion. Let's get to our third segment that we call
I'm trying to help you.
So what should you do if your partner or spouse is like you?
Well, if I was going to give some, a tip to you specifically, Jill.
To me?
Yes. I would say, look, don't try to compete against me. Don't even try it, because you're going to get your feelings hurt. And then you're going to tell people that it didn't happen that way. Don't just...
When did this turn competitive?
You took it there.
The last story was competitive, but the other stories were not. Well, my advice is...
You didn't carry me through the jungle.
Nor did you carry me through the jungle.
Yes,
We've never been
I
to the
did.
jungle.
All of Florida is a jungle and a swamp.
Well, we didn't see gators, and anyway,
You
My
didn't see the
advice-
gators. I saw the
there
gators.
were none. We were on pavement and grass. My advice is, if your spouse just wants to tell these stories, like party stories, let them have their fun, because everybody knows the truth. If they know either one of you, they'll know the truth. That's my advice. So don't worry about it. Let's get to our last segment that we call
So, what do you think? What do you think?
Because I'm right.
Because I'm right.
We want to hear what listeners think. Listeners, did you believe any of Tony's stories?
Of course they did.
Two were true.
They're accurate.
One was absolutely not. And one half of it was right.
All the stories I told were true.
No, not realistic. They weren't. So the number to call us is 404.
Oh, you're going to give the number today?
Oh, go ahead.
You can.
You can.
404-594-2247.
That is the number to call. So tell us your stories too. We'd like to know what your
Yes.
partners are saying out there that's just wacky.
It's not wacky.
Wackadoodle.
Say that. Yeah, I was going to say that phrase.
Wackadoodle.
That wackadoodle phrase. Wackadoodle. Woo.
Well, you've been listening to I'm Right.
I'm right.
Boy, am I right on this one, though.
No, you're absolutely
And I'm
not
Jill
right.
Cox Cordova.
And I'm Anthony Cordova Jill Saban.
Aha! Shout out to Gifford Ivan Cordova III for the music, Nick Zinke for the art, and for you two, and to you too, listeners. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you need some saving, give me a call.
Or not. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.